Mr. DJ Rose, Verkeezy, and C's. Welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap a seatbelt, go and sell the land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell out now. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.
No More Black Tears. We back in the building, man. All happened in the week. Verkeezy.
So this week in sports, we're going to continue our trend of top 10 positions in the NFL. Last week we did the quarterbacks and pass rushers. This week we're doing the running backs and DBs. So I'm going to start it off with the running backs. Now, Rose, my top five, that was easy. You know, that was easy. It was that second half that was kind of hard for me. So I tried to do like consistency. I didn't want to put too much on just last year. And then also in this new age of running back, there's not gonna be too many Sean Alexanders, like niggas who just did one thing. You kind of got to be multifaceted. So at number 10, I'm gonna go Kyron Williams.
You going 10-1?
Yeah, 10-1.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Kyron Williams, the running back from Los Angeles Rams. For those who know, he's a pretty much dual threat running back. He could do it all. Last year, he kind of split a lot of carries with Blake Corum. He's had a couple of injury concerns, but it's hard to not have a running back that is on an elite offense, not on this list. Chase Brown barely missed my cut. Number 9, man, I know some people, because he hasn't been maybe consistent in terms of the numbers he put up the last 3 years, and he's had some injuries, but how do you not have the current reigning Super Bowl MVP on your list? Like, especially what he did in the postseason. Like, every game he went off for 100 yards, the NFC Championship 150, Super Bowl 150, touchdowns. He was showing the ability to catch the ball. Like, he just showed that he really has the ability to be a top 5 running back in the league. You know,
he was on my fantasy team, so So I don't know.
and that's where I was kind of tripped, because I've had him in fantasy and he's been disappointed. But that was mostly because he was in a running back committee. You know, it looks like in Kansas City he's not going to be that. So we'll see. Can he be healthy for a full season? And can he be the guy? Then some people might feel like I got him low, but it was like last season wasn't a breakout year for him, but he had kind of been down for a couple of years due to injuries. And last season he just came back to the forefront. Jonathan Taylor. Now this is a running back that can be a power running back that can catch the ball. He showed that he can be the man in Indy, where they don't have a real quarterback. They don't have real legit receiving options. It's just his show. We talked about it off the pod about on Prize Picks. They was basically saying, hey, man, if you want to get any money on him, you got to bet he's going to get 3 touchdowns. And he was getting it. So, like, he deserved to be in the top 10. It was just hard for me to put him in the top 5 because of the consistency factor that matters to me. And if he would have did this after, let's say, 2 years ago, when he had that monster year 3 years ago, and then put this season up, he probably would have been number 3. But once again, them injury-plagued seasons, I had to put him at 8. Now, he didn't have the best season last year. He got some stuff going on right now. But we talked about him like he's been the man for a long time in the NFL since he was in Oakland and now in Green Bay. He's just been very consistent. Has he had the monsters years that some of these other running backs have had on the list? No. But you can pencil him in for 1,000 yards a season, 10 touchdowns, and he's going to get you a couple catches and stuff like that. He's going to be a decent receiving threat. Josh Jacobs. Been a very good, consistent running back in the league for a long time. I think he's one of the better running backs. And if you draft him in fantasy, for example, because a lot of these guys are going to be top fantasy picks, you're not going to be disappointed as long as he plays, because he's pretty consistent. Now we're getting close to that top 5. At number 6, this one kind of hurt because I kind of been feeling like this dude deserves to be in that top 5 conversation. But the other guys, it was just kind of hard, man. So number 6 got James Cook. Like really, really consistent the last 3 years. Led the league in touchdowns the year before last. You can make the argument he probably would have led the league in touchdowns last year if Josh Allen didn't poach his touchdowns from with all them little quarterback sneaks and tush pushes. Hell, even the year he led the league in touchdowns, I think he led the league with what, 18, 19 touchdowns. Josh Allen had 14, 15 rushing touchdowns. If you just take half of those, he's approaching LT's, touchdown record. Like that's how good James Cook has been. The younger brother of Dalvin Cook, who was an amazing running back, if you would have told me his little brother came in the league and probably is close to surpassing what he did, I would have been like, you lying, bro. Because Dalvin Cook was amazing in Minnesota. But James Cook has, lived up to the hype. And, he's a main staple in Buffalo. He's one of the reasons why Buffalo's in contention every single year. Because, yeah, Josh may not have an elite pass catcher, but he got someone that's elite at handing the ball off, man. So James Cook is definitely, if someone got him in this top 5, I'm not mad at that. At number 5, man, that man just every single year, man, when you think he's gonna fall off, he just continues to give you 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns. Last year he had a fumbling issue, Derrick Henry, and it's crazy because he didn't even really start his first 2 years in the league. And you look at the numbers he's been put up. He was sharing carries his first 2 years in the league. I think with like DeMarco Murray or something. I can't remember exactly who it was in Tennessee. They had him sharing carries with. But like he's just been the man ever since he became King Henry, and it just doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. I know he's on the other side of 30, but he's the only running back in this list. If I'm being honest, in the fourth quarter, I don't want to see him. It just seems like as the game continues to go on, he gets better, and he is the true definition of them 2000s running backs we should see. The more carries you give him, the better he gets. Like he's probably the only running back in the league. If you told me he's going to average 30 carries a game, I'm not worried about him because he's built for that. Like he's a man-child, even amongst these NFL linebackers and DBs and stuff like that. Like Derrick Henry is definitely the only knock on him, which is why it's hard to put him in higher, is he gives you nothing in the passing game. He gives you nothing in the receiving game. He's not going to really catch the ball like that. You can't really use him. They have to take him off the field, and I got to deem him for that because the other guys on this list are big. They're not just part of the passing game. They're a big part of the passing game. Number 4, it's even hard to even bring up the injuries to this nigga. Because it's like every other year he gets hurt. But the year that he's healthy, he's probably the number 1 running back in fantasy, and he's arguably an MVP candidate. He was an MVP candidate last year, Christian McCaffrey. Like it's just hard, like to really allow the injuries to knock him down so much, because when he steps on that field, he's amazing. And I'm gonna be honest, if you would have told me that this is what we would have got out of Stanford, I was one of those people. I didn't really think Christian McCaffrey would be that guy coming out of Stanford, if I'm being honest. But he went to Carolina, put up amazing numbers with Cam. Now he's in San Fran, and Kyle Shanahan locked him to another level. Like this is probably, you can make the argument that he's the best receiving running back in the league. Like nobody can catch the ball like he can. He lines up. He's so good at it, Rose, that there's plays where the 49ers will line him up in the slot outside, and then they'll have the other running back in the backfield. So like they can utilize him in so many different ways, man. So Christian McCaffrey is definitely a top 5 running back. Now we get to the top 3. I'm just not gonna allow last season to let me sour on this nigga like that. I still got Saquon as a top 3 running back because I look at him as a better version of Christian McCaffrey. When he's healthy, he's gonna put up numbers. He's gonna catch the ball. He's gonna run it. He's explosive. He just can't had a 2,000-yard season the year before last. Like he's amazing. Like everywhere he's been the heart and soul of his offense, and he's made that offense better. Now, last season, yeah, he had a down year, and he may not have an amazing year this year, fantasy-wise. But when you watch him play, even in the Super Bowl, for example, I just look at Saquon as just a traditional running back that's dominant. He's so good at his position that even in games where he has 50 yards or less, You saw in the Super Bowl the Chiefs allocated so much of their defense to stop him. It allowed Jalen Hurts to just go crazy in the Super Bowl because it's one-on-one coverage everywhere. And that's what we need to see this year from the Philadelphia offense. Jalen Hurts, you got to use Mekhi Lemon, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, all them weapons. You got to win those one-on-one matchups down the field and in the middle of the field so we can get back to Saquon being able to do what he can do. And then now we're in the top two. And this almost like, man, do you want a chicken Philly or do you just want a Philly cheesesteak? Like, do you want a cheese pizza or do you want a pepperoni pizza? Like, it's almost like, what's your flavor, man? What's your flavor at this point? Because both of these guys, to me, are like spitting images of each other. But I gotta go number 2 for this dude because the number 1 guy, I've been on his bandwagon for years, Jamar Gibbs. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I am fascinated at what Jamar Gibbs can do on the football field, Rose. Like what he can do is spectacular. Like I want to make sure I put emphasis on this. The top 2 guys are on another planet, and everyone else is on their own little planet. Like I don't know if we've seen this in the NFL in a long time, where the top 2 guys are that much different than everyone else. Because Jamar Gibbs, his ability to have wiggle, his ability to accelerate, his ability to cut in open field, you're not tackling open field. It's not too many times when you watch a Detroit game, Rose, and it's a one-on-one situation and he gets tackled. That don't happen very often with this nigga. Bro, he is so good. There's games where you look up real football-wise, man, he only got 25 yards rushing. How the fuck does he got 30 fantasy points? This nigga got 150 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
What the fuck is you doing? Like he put up these crazy numbers in Detroit the last 3 years with David Montgomery taking his goal line carries, with David Montgomery getting the yards between the tackles. I do not know what he's going to do now that he's the man in Detroit. Now that he's the man in Detroit, it's one of 2 things. Can he hold up to the punishment of being the number 1 guy? And if the answer is yes, the numbers that he has the ability to put up will be ridiculous. And then the number 1 guy, man, is Bijan, man. And I feel like Bijan is in that category where people used to joke about Michael Jordan and said, like I heard this quote, like the only thing that could stop Mike in North Carolina was Dean Smith. That's how I feel about Bijan. The only thing that could stop him was Arthur Smith and Raheem Morris. I don't know why that cracker and that nigga that loved them cracker women, I don't know why they did not want to give this man the ball more. Like, this is obviously the best running back in the league. Most talented running back in the league. He can catch the ball. He can run it. He can run it between the tackles. He can run it outside the tackles. We saw this at Texas. It ain't like he came in the league and we ain't see the shit. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't see what we see from Jameer Gibbs. I ain't see this. I can't even tell you where he went to school at. But we saw Bijan at Texas doing. He from Bama. See, I ain't even see all this at Bama from Gibbs. At Texas, I saw Bijan doing this shit. I just was like, wow, why are we taking a running back so high? We already had Tyler Algier, who had 1,000 yards rushing. And Bijan stepped on the field after week 1. I think you and me was watching his rookie season. And we was on your back porch. And I said, oh, yeah, Bijan different. Bijan different. I remember the play. This nigga made like 2 niggas in the open field miss in like inches of each other, like just doing size cuts and everything. I was like, oh, yeah, that nigga different, bro. He made I remember saying this about LT back in the day. When a running back can make a 5-yard play look exciting, there should have been a negative 2-yard loss. Oh yeah, you different, bro. And I see that from Bijan every single week, Rose. Where I see him get a 5 or 6 yard carry, that other running backs would have got lost 2 yards on. Because it be niggas in his face soon as he get the fucking ball and he take a step to the left or the right, and it just immediately, it's almost like he loses no speed, accelerates immediately. Man, this nigga's different, bro, and he's the clear-cut number 1 running back to me, but I wouldn't be mad if someone had someone like Gibbs.
Okay. So I'm gonna go 1 to 10. So I got Atlanta running back Brian Robinson Jr. is number one. So I must say, yeah, he the best running back in the league. Yeah, Brian Robinson Jr. You know what I'm saying? Best running back in the league.
And make sure you see a J behind the B when you draft in fantasy, bro, because there is no take backsies.
Yeah, so yeah, B. John Robinson number one. Yeah, of course, we got to go home team. It ain't even about home team. He's the best running back. I got Gibbs number two. B. John's bigger than him. He's probably not as. I think Gibbs is probably faster than B. John, but both of them are super fast. And I don't know if maybe Gibbs is maybe quicker. I don't know, but B. John got more wiggle. But yeah, I'm Gibbs number two. This is where it started to change up a little bit. And with my list, I lean towards more of last year and a combination, just like my quarterbacks and my other list, a little bit more. I lean towards some last year and overall, and I also factored in their ages coming up because what they go do this year.
Okay, fair enough.
So this is my predictions of what they go do this year, and a combination of their last years that they played. 1 and 2, it don't even matter what they go do what they go do. 3, I got C-Mac. I think he's going to finally put that behind him and have back-to-back good years. And because last year, I think the last 2 years he had back-to-back good years.
And then he had that injury year that came out of nowhere where he missed the whole season.
Yeah, so I think he's going to do it again. They brought Debo back. They got some Mike Evans. So I think they're not going to weigh as much on him as they usually do, but he's still going to do his numbers, I think.
Yeah, he's still going to be the man.
Number 4, I got JT, Jonathan Taylor. After last year, I had to put him up there. He's did it before. He did it in college. He did it. He got hurt, came back. He's healthy again. I see him doing it again. They knew he was the best player on the team last year. They knew they had to stop him, and they still couldn't stop him. And he didn't get hurt, so I'm just gonna say he's gonna do it again this year. He ain't gonna have 18 touchdowns, but I feel like he's gonna still be good. You know what I'm saying? I think he's still gonna be good. Number 5, I got James Cook. He was the best player behind Josh Allen on that team, and they got a little bit of help, but they got a new coaching staff, and I think they go run the ball. I think he's always healthy. Depending on last year, coming in this year, number 5. I'm putting him in number 5.
I ain't mad at that. I like James Cook a lot.
Number 6, just because of the year he had last year, the numbers that he put up, because he was at the top of the league in like all-purpose yards and everything. I'm going Devon Achane, number 6, because they ain't got nobody else in Miami. So as long as he stay healthy, he gonna get the ball.
Yeah, if I was projecting, he probably would have been top 5. If I'm just projecting him and Breece Hall, if I'm just doing pure projection, they definitely would have been top 10. It was just hard with their careers compared to some of the other guys.
Yeah, so because I'm leaning towards like what from last year coming into this year, and plus what they have done before. So yeah, so I got him at number 6 right now. Number 6. Number 7, Derrick Henry. This was a toss up. I got Barkley at 8. It was a toss up between those two, but I just had to put Derrick Henry because it's just that he's done it every year. He's done it every year. Barkley has done it, but then he got hurt. Derrick's been hurt, but he still play. He still do it. So I put Derrick above him. And everybody knew both of them players last year. Everybody knew they was gonna get the ball, and it was like I didn't want to draft neither one of them in fantasy because like it just seems too good to be true. Especially the year before last. I put like that. It seemed too good to be true, and they both balled out. But then last year, Derrick still balled out, and Saquon took a step back because he had 2,000 yards, but
he was still good.
He was still good though. So it was a toss up between those two, but just for longevity, I put Derrick number 7, Barkley number 8.
And people forget, man, Derrick almost had 2K the same year Barkley.
Yeah,
He was
I
at
think
19
18.
something.
Yes. So he was close. He was close. And then I got Josh Jacobs at number 9. He just consistent. He gets hurt, but he still plays, and he might miss a game or he might miss a half, but his numbers, he's just consistent. He just
very steady.
Yeah, he just always does it. And then number 10, I got Brees Hall because he was injured the year before last, but before that he was good. He was on the Jets. They ain't had nobody. They knew he was gonna get the ball. They still couldn't stop him. Last year they ain't had nobody, and he still put up numbers. He still put up numbers, and I think he's coming a year off the injury. He played good last year. He's healthy again this year. I think he's gonna be a top 10 running back.
And before we move on, who was the one running back that was the closest to making your top 10?
Probably Chase Brown was close.
We both had Chase Brown. It's just so hard to not have a running back that's spearheading an elite offense.
Yeah, Chase Brown was close. Somebody you named was close. But,
Kyron Williams?
Kyron Williams, he was close, but I had Chase Brown above him because he had a lot of fumbling things.
What, Kenneth Walker?
And I wanted to put Kenneth Walker in there, but I had him on my fantasy team last year.
Yeah.
So I know what numbers he had during the regular season. It's like, where was this playoff run at all year?
I know. Where was this nigga at?
Because
where was you at?
Because all year he wasn't the best running back on his team. Chardonnay was the best running back on the team. But then he got hurt in the playoffs, so then he showed out. So that's why I didn't have him. But I wanted to because he MVP. He won the Super Bowl.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
And his playoffs.
Showed out in playoffs.
He showed out. But no, he didn't make the list because of that.
You know, Michigan guy. I think Michigan State?
Michigan State, I think.
Yeah, Michigan State. Hey, man, so we're going to move on to the defensive side of the ball, man. So we're doing top 10 defensive backs. We doing the safeties and the corners together. We're just going to give you who we think are the top 10 defensive backs. I don't know how you weighted it. I did weight corner a little bit more than safety. So there are more corners than safeties in mine.
Yeah, I got more corners than safeties in mine. Just defensive backs. That some of the corners are just better than the safeties. So number 1 on my list, I got Riley Moss. Number 2, I got Cooper DeJean. And number 3, I got Ethan Barner.
We doing the all white boy team. You should have had Reed Blankenship in there too then. And number 4.
Yeah, he didn't make it. He didn't make the list. But that's the top 3.
You should have had the white boy from Minnesota that retired coming there. They retired at safety. God damn.
Yeah, man. Those are the top 3. You know what I'm saying? But then so now we ain't got nothing on them. So now we go get to the brothers now. We gonna get to the brothers now.
Get to the brothers.
We're gonna get to the brothers now. We're going Pat Surtain, number 1. He's arguably the best one. He's
in that same conversation with Miles Garrett in his position, man. It's almost hard not having a number 1.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you can watch him play, and then you be like, well, he ain't that good. He ain't did nothing all game because they ain't throwing to his side of the field because they're not throwing over there. And if they do, he might not get a lot of interceptions, but you ain't catching it. So, number 2, for that same reason, I don't know if it's because they had Hunter up front and they had the other boy from Bama up front. I'm going to go Derek Stingley from Houston. I'm going to go him number 2. Number 3, I'm going to go Devin Witherspoon, you know what I'm saying, from Seattle. They won the chip. Their defense was amazing. Main reason they won, all those games, and I'm just he was going up against some good receivers all year in the NFC West. So I'm gonna go Devin Witherspoon. I almost had Christian Gonzalez at number 3, but he was injured. He was injured a lot, but he had a lot of injuries. But he's definitely top 5, top 3 players if he could stay healthy the whole season. You know what I'm saying? Christian Gonzalez, he's the man. My first safety coming up last year, I'm giving him some grace. He got hurt at pretty much at the beginning of the season, but before that, he was pretty much the best player on their team. Brian Branch from Detroit.
That's the first shocker of the night.
Yeah, I'm going Brian Branch. I think he's gonna come back and he's gonna have another good season. Um, then I got Quavon Mitchell from Philadelphia, Georgia boy. You know what I'm saying? He like they throw at him, but he don't get a lot of interceptions. But he knocked the ball down. He got a lot of pass deflections. Number 7, Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward, number 7.
Just got paid.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because he had Miles up there or what, but yeah, you don't hear nothing about him, but you look at the numbers and everything, he's up there at the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl winner Trent McDuffie, number 8. You know what I'm saying? You actually see him because he's on TV all the time.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You see him all the time. So
it's hard not to when you're part of a Super Bowl winning team like that, though.
Yeah, so I got him at number 8, and I got J.C. Horn at number 9.
Oh man, he was so close to making my list.
I got J.C. Horn.
I love the season he had last year.
Yeah, I seen him a lot last year. He played for the Panthers, so we seen him a lot. We get those Panther games, and we see him play Atlanta. I had to go J.C. Horn, show him some love, and then I had to go Falcons, the best safety in the league, J.C. Bates. You know what I'm saying, number 10. I almost didn't have him on my list, but I had to put him on. He's the best safety in the league, so I had to. Yeah, I had Brian Branch above him, but he was hurt last year. But if Brian Branch probably wouldn't have been hurt, Brian Branch, you wouldn't have known. Some people probably not even know who he is, but you would know once he's on the field.
Brian Branch is really good, really good.
And that's my top 10. There was a couple of guys that like Kyle Hamilton that I was leaning towards. Buddy from the Chargers, kind of leaning towards him too a little bit, but that's my top 10.
Yeah, man, I had a total of 4 safeties. We pretty much had the safety position we kind of differ on. The corners, we kind of had a lot of the same corners. Number 1, Pat Surtain. Like, if you don't have him, it's almost like, what the fuck is your list doing? Number 2, I had Christian Gonzalez. He did have the injury concerns his rookie season, but played the games his sophomore season and last year. Got to the Super Bowl, and he was the only bright spot in the Super Bowl for the Patriots, man. Like, you could see that, this is a game changer. This is someone that plays defense, can lock up, receivers and stuff like that. He's no joke, and he's been like that since he came in the league. His rookie season, the first 4 games he played, he was locking shit up. He just got hurt. Derek Stingley, man. And probably the only reason why, man, I don't have a number 2 is it's just always hard to tell with DBs how much of that pass rush helps them. Yeah. And you having Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, it's so close between him and Gonzalez to me. I'm going to go Gonzalez because he doesn't have them boys up front. Like, there's times when I watch the Patriots play and the other team has time to throw the ball and Gonzalez is still holding his man in check. But Stingley, with the pass rush, without the pass rush, is easily a top 5 corner in the league, top 5 defensive back, period. Like, he's one of those guys. He's part of that defense, why that defense is so hard to fuck with, because he's so good at his job. Number 4, I got the first safety, and I think he's the best safety in the league, man, especially when he's healthy, the way he plays inside the box, the way he plays coverage. He's a game changer for his defense, Kyle Hamilton. I think he's, like, phenomenal, the best guy. Like, he's all over the field. When you watch the Ravens play, like, he's the only one on that defense is consistently making positive plays. And when he doesn't play, like in that second half of that Steelers game when he got hurt, the game to go to the playoffs, when he didn't play that's when you saw Aaron Rodgers and them boys start opening it up in the passing game. And it's like, yo, man, like that defense really needs him. And now that they got Jesse Minter there, and we saw what Jesse Minter did with Derwin James, and with the Chargers, man, I'm just excited to see what he does and how he uses Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is one of those safeties. He's a chess piece. You can move from anywhere on the field. In the slot, in the box where the linebackers at, play up top. I can't speak enough of Kyle Hamilton. Number 5, Super Bowl champion, Devin Witherspoon, man. Like, it's hard to not have nobody from that defense in this top 10 when that defense was good all season, and the postseason was lights the fuck out. And in the Super Bowl, put on the performance we ain't seen in a minute, man. Devin Witherspoon, whether it's man, whether it's zone, whether it's off man, like he can do everything you need him to do from the corner position. He's the best the defensive back in that secondary. So I gotta have the best defensive back in the secondary that just won the Super Bowl as a top 3 defense in the league. Man, Trent McDuffie, man, multiple time Super Bowl winner, man. It's a reason why the Rams traded all that shit for that nigga. It's the reason why the Rams say, "Come over here, man. We need that. We gotta fill our biggest need with arguably the best man corner in the league. Like this might be the best man corner in the league. Like Trent McDuffie, I don't know what it is. Zone, he kind of loses himself in zone a little bit for some reason. But when he's playing press man coverage, it ain't too many corners in the league that's gonna be better than him, man. Like Trent McDuffie, he does his job and he locks up receivers and he travels. That's another thing he does. He will travel with the other team's best receiver if he needs to. Number 7, I have my second safety on the list, Derwin James. Once he got over them injury concerns, like Derwin has put together a decent career. Like he had a good season last year. The Chargers had an elite defense last year, and he was one of the reasons why that defense was so elite. The pass rush for that defense wasn't amazing, and Derwin is just like Kyle Hamilton. He does everything. Wherever you want him to be, he's probably better coverage skills wise than what Kyle is. But Derwin came in the league hitting niggas hard. That's one of the reasons why his ass kept getting hurt early in his career. Because he came in the league putting the boom to niggas, man. Derwin is definitely one of those elite guys. Going with my third corner, I wanted to put him so much higher, man. It's just, and it's not his fault, man. It's the defense around him doesn't allow him to make plays. He just don't make as many plays as Kyle and Derwin do. But I echo your thoughts. He probably is the best safety in the league because he's the most fundamental sound. And to this day, I don't know how Cincinnati let this nigga walk. Jesse Bates. I do not know how Cincinnati let this nigga walk, bro. Because their defense has been so terrible the last couple of years, and you let someone like this come to Atlanta. Like when we first signed him, I was not impressed with that signing. But over the last couple of years, man, when you watch the Falcons play, you can feel secure knowing Jesse ain't getting beat. Ain't shit getting thrown on top now. Now, them bitch ass niggas might give up them screens and them slants and shit, but Jesse ain't letting no shit get deep. And that nigga can play in the box. Not as much as Derwin and Kyle.
He got the best hands,
you know.
At the safety.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he could be the best playmaker out of all the safeties. It's just for some reason the pass rush just don't give him an opportunity to make enough plays on the ball. But to your point, when he gets an opportunity, he comes down with the ball.
Yeah.
Man, number 9, we're going to go on somebody that has a Super Bowl, that's contending for a Super Bowl, Quinton Mitchell. Man, elite corner, man. Elite corner. It's a reason why that secondary in Philly is so hard to throw up against. They got dogs all in that secondary, but he's the dog amongst all the dogs in that secondary. Like, he's the dog in that secondary that really is, you know, the straw that stirs his drink. And number 10, I got to go back to the Super Bowl champions with my last safety on the list, Nick Emenwa. And it's so, the only reason why he's not high, this is the only reason why he's not high. Last year was his rookie season. That's the only reason why he's not high. But for him to do what he did as a rookie at the safety position, we don't see that very often. Like, rookie safeties come in the league and just be very sound and solid. And it's so hard to explain unless you was watching the Seahawks defense. That dark side defense was amazing last year. It was only 3 defenses that I saw last year that made me go, wow, Rose. The Patriots defense, the Texans defense, and the Seattle defense. But, and he was the safety in the defense. And him and Witherspoon, man, they really locked shit down. They lost the other safety to Philly, so we'll see if they can pick up the slack. But you only let someone like that move to another team, Rose, if you're confident with the pieces you still have remaining. Man, probably, I ain't gonna lie, probably my biggest person that I did not put in my top 10 was Deion Branch. That was probably the biggest one. It's just because Detroit's defense has just been not really been good the last couple of years, man. And that's not no fault of his own, because Adrian Hutchinson, bitch ass, can't stay healthy. They drafted that nigga to be their elite pass rusher. And so, and the rest of that defense really is sorry, if you want to be honest. Deion Branch is one of the only good players in that defense. But, you know, a lot of these players I named are part of defenses that are always ranked in the top 5 or whatever. So it was just, but that was the hardest one because just talent alone and what they just do by themselves outside of the team construct, to your point, Deion Branch is probably at the top of his position, man. So we talked about Jesse Bates. We talked about Bijan Robinson. You talked about J.C. Horn. Let's go and move to the NFC South. So we're going to wrap it up by doing our divisional breakdown like we've been doing the whole offseason. We're closing out with the NFC South, the Falcons, the Saints, the Bucks, and the Panthers. Now, some people may be listening like, damn, why y'all choosing the sorry-ass NFC South to close it out with? Well, that's the home team. So we're going to close out with the home team. We're going to close out with the division that we see the most games of because, like you said, we get them Panthers games, we get them Saints games, and we get them Bucks games, unfortunately. But the first thing is first. Shout out Nick Wright. What are the offseason moves that happen in our division that you think are going to benefit the other teams as well as our team?
Probably the draft picks, you know what I'm saying? Jacare Branch. Tampa Bay losing Mike Evans. Man, Carolina, I know they picked up a wide receiver. Man, that's pretty much it, man.
It's been quiet from
the Saints. Saints, they've been quiet.
Except for yesterday, they broke the news yesterday when they gave Chris Oliver all that money.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, no real major moves. Just like I know we got a new coach, we got a new president. So
Matty Ice in the building,
but
that man was taking reps.
Yeah, we ain't had nobody else to throw the ball, so they brought him out, and he threw the ball. He looked pretty good. He looked better than some of the other throws I seen in the training camp for a lot of teams.
Yeah,
that's like I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, nothing too much.
Yeah, like you said, man, the Bucks, they drafted Ruben Bain. I hated that on draft night. We discussed that on the pod. I think Ruben Bain would come in the league and be a disruptor from the pass rusher position. I'm not worried about the small arms. I think he's going to get after the quarterback, and I hate saying that because I hate the Bucks. But that was a big pickup for them in the draft. The Saints picking up Travis Etienne from Jacksonville. This is a dual threat running back. He could have easily been in that top 10 conversation in terms of top 10 running backs, if not for the year he had, not this year, but the year before, where he just didn't do shit. Because I think the year before, he was like, what, a top 5 running back in fantasy. Then the next year just fell the fuck completely off. But then this year, he looked more like he did 2 years ago. Very complete running back. I think the Saints really, with that young offense they have, with the young pieces they have from Juwan Johnson at tight end, from Chris Olivet, the outside receiver position, and Tyler Shaw, who I'll be the first to admit he looked a lot better last year than I thought he would. Like they got a nice offense looking there with Kellen Moore at the helm, by the way. Panthers, man, they signed Jalen Phillips and Meacham. John Meacham. I like the Phillips move because they needed more help pass rushing wise. Granted they let Brian Burns leave a couple years ago. So that kind of helped them right there. The John Meacham, I'm only interested in that because of the fact he used to play with Bryce Young. So I just want to know, like, Meacham, you done been a couple places now. If you can't get it going with your former college quarterback, then you might just not belong in the league, bro. Like you finna get on that Jerry Jeudy track where we looking at you like, damn, bro, you probably the worst Bama receiver that came in the league the last couple of years because you was part of that class where niggas thought y'all was gonna take over the league, and we really been focused on Jerry Jeudy as we should because he was supposed to be the man in that class, and that nigga was just trash. But you need to go and step it up too. And then finally with the Falcons, man, we picked up 2. I don't know, man. I mean, I know you're more excited about that pick than I am. I'm kind of indifferent to it, man. Like I'm trying to get excited about it.
I'm not excited about it, but it's better than what we had.
I mean, I guess, man, maybe like like a turd is better than a piece of shit. I don't know. Like they about the same to me, bro. They about the same except for one nigga is what is he like Hawaiian or whatever or a Samoan, and the other nigga's a nigga. That's the only difference.
One is mentally disabled, and the other one handicapped.
That's the only difference, bro.
So one got brain injuries and one got leg injuries. Like
that's the difference between them two niggas, man. You know, and then Brian Robinson Jr., man, he's a decent running back, man. So I mean, he'll spell B. John when B. John not playing. Hopefully, they don't give him the ball too much, but that'll be a decent little pickup. That'll be a decent move for the Falcons. You know, if you got to pick who's gonna win the division, who you got winning the division at this moment?
Right now, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay.
You picked them last year, right?
I think so. Yeah. Right now, Tampa Bay should win. I think the Saints are going to have a surprisingly good year. I think the Panthers are going to be better than the Falcons, and I think the Falcons is going to round it up. I think we're probably we're gonna be in the tail end. We probably when we do under we're gonna be last. I think we're gonna be last, and we always hope to be last when there's some quarterbacks coming up, but somehow we end up being 3 wins above where we're supposed to be. I'm hoping we don't do that this year, but if everything plays out like it's supposed to, Tua will be hurt, Penis be hurt. We'll get one of them rookie quarterbacks in the.
Maybe Matt Ryan will come out of retirement like Phillip Rivers did and play a couple games.
Nah, man, don't even do that. Don't even do that.
Go on the bench or something like Phillip.
Yeah, nah, he the goat in the boat. He can sit back and relax. He can sit back and relax.
Oh, bro, this is hard, man. This is hard, bro, because I don't think we ever had a situation like last year where a team won a division by losing their final game of the season. Because another team in the division won. Like that shit was so crazy last year how the Panthers won the division. And if I gotta pick, man, I feel like Mike Evans leaving the Bucs is going to hurt them, man. I just feel like that offense won't be the same it was the last couple of years. If you're making me pick, I just don't have confidence in the quarterback position in Atlanta. So I guess I'm picking between New Orleans and Carolina. And fuck it, man. Give me Carolina, man. I'll go Bryce Young and them young boys there to build upon what they did last year. And hopefully they win the division, whether 9-8 or some shit like that, maybe 10-6. I mean, 10-7, man. But it's hard to pick the Falcons because who the fuck gonna throw the ball? We still don't know who's gonna throw the ball. And the Saints, I just feel like they haven't built enough talent yet for that team. But then lastly with the Bucs, it's like I don't know. Can you just let Mike Evans walk like that and get nothing for him? And I'm looking at the receiving core, and it's like, I like Mbuke, but Chris Godwin, is he going to stay healthy? He hasn't ever looked the same since he's came back from his injury. So I'll go with the Falcons, man. We're going to round it out how we've been doing all offseason. This is our final over and unders for the offseason, y'all. We're going to start with the Bucs players. Baker Mayfield, 3,400, 99.5 yards passing.
Over.
24.5 touchdowns.
Over.
Berkey Irvin, 799.5 yards rushing.
Over.
5 rushing touchdowns.
Under.
And Mako Mbuke, 899.5 yards receiving.
Over. 6
receiving TDs.
Over.
Chris Godwin, 674.5 yards receiving.
Over.
4.5 yards, 4.5 touchdowns.
Over.
Going on to the Saints, Tyler Shaw, 3,674.5 yards passing.
Under.
20.5 touchdowns.
Over.
Travis Etienne, 849.5 yards rushing.
Under.
5 rushing touchdowns.
Over.
Chris Arlev, 1,049.5 yards receiving.
Over.
5.5 touchdowns.
Over.
Bryce Young, 3,999.5 yards.
4,000?
3,000.
You said 3,900?
No, 3,000
Oh.
and 99.5 yards.
Oh, so 31.
Yeah, just 31.
3,100.
Well, nigga was like, what?
Oh yeah, over. He'll get that. Over.
20.5 touchdowns.
Under.
Chuba Hubbard, 699.5 rushing yards.
Over.
4.5 rushing touchdowns.
Over.
T.J. McMillan, 949.5 receiving yards.
Over.
6.5 touchdowns.
Under.
Moving on to Atlanta, man. Drake London, 1,124.5.
Over.
89.5 receptions.
Over.
7 TDs.
Over.
Kyle Pitts, 749.5.
Under.
68.5 receptions.
Under.
4.5 TDs.
Under.
B. John Robinson, it's the man, y'all. 1,149.5 yards rushing.
That's all? Over.
8.5 touchdowns rushing.
Over.
65.5 receptions.
Over.
1,724.5 yards total.
Total, yeah, 2,000. Over.
Total touchdowns, 12.5 yards total.
Over.
And the last question got to ask you, because they didn't even bother to have an over-under for Tua in Phoenix. It's 17 games. Who's going to finish the season starting the most games?
Tua.
Tua. How many numbers you willing to go? 8
7.
games? 7?
7.
So it's gonna be 7 games Tua.
Mm.
How many games Penix in your opinion?
4.
4. So we gonna get what, like 6 games from just somewhere else?
That rookie from Montana State or wherever that he go finish the season.
All right, man. Final thoughts.
Nah, I ain't got no final thoughts today.
My final thoughts, man. Last weekend we got to see the end of an era, man. In boxing, the early 2010s, throughout the 2010s, we had Terrence Crawford, Tank, Adrian Broner, Errol Spence was all considered that young class of boxers. They even had a name like the PCB Club or whatever. And it was all basically homeboys when they came in. They were supposed to change the game of boxing and Tank. And they did. They did change the welterweight division, and the lightweight division. Errol Spence, for those who got to see him box, before his car accident, he was elite, man. A lot of people thought he was right there with Terrence Crawford. After his car accident, he was never the same. He did come back and win some fights, and it led to the ultimate fight, his biggest money fight with Terrence Crawford. But, unfortunately, Terrence demolished him, in that fight. And he just had his last fight last Saturday, and he lost, man. And I got to see his post-fight interview, man, and he said he's at peace with his decision. So now that we have him gone from boxing, Terrence Crawford said he's gone from boxing. Adrian Broner seems like he want to be a streamer more than a boxer. The only one left from that club, from that elite young club, is probably Tank, and he got his legal stuff going on, man. So, the combat sports come out very quickly, man. Shout out to Errol Spence, man. It was a pleasure watching you box. Shout out to the Mamba.
Gotta. Mr. DJ Rose, Vert Cheesy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.